Kitchen Hound, and today I'm going to be talking about how to choose the best yarn for amigurumi or crochet toys. Yarn selection is really important for amigurumi in particular because they're usually stuffed. I have here a hamburger. They're usually stuffed with polyfill or another stuffing material, so you want to make sure you choose the right yarn because if you have holes in between your stitches, that yarn can leak out. So before we start, let's first learn about yarn weights. Different yarn weights create different size projects. This is one thing that I had to learn the hard way when I first started. I really didn't understand the differences in yarn weights or yarn categories. Yarn weights don't refer to the actual weight of the yarn. Yarn weight refers to the thickness of the actual strand of yarn. Yarn weights work as a number system. They go all the way from 1 being the thinnest all the way up to 7, which is jumbo, or the thickest yarn that you can get. So I'll just give you an example of each weight of yarn. This is weight 0, a lace weight yarn, and it's very, very fine. This is a mohair, so it's kind of fuzzy, but that is the lightest weight you can get. Next would be sock weight, which is fairly thin. After sock weight, we have sport or baby weight, which is a little bit thicker. Then we have DK or light worsted yarn. Then you've got your classic worsted weight yarn. This is weight 4, and this is what you're going to find most commonly in big box craft stores or at like Walmart or something like that, Joann's. So this is what I'm going to be talking about today for amigurumi yarn selection, because this is what most of us, especially if you're just starting out creating amigurumi or crochet toys, you might want to start out with a worsted weight because it's very easy to work with. After worsted weight, we have bulky or chunky weight, which is going to be kind of your specialty yarns that are a little bit bigger. And then there's a category after that even, which is jumbo or roving, which is something like this, which is very, very thick. So now that we understand yarn weights, we can see how making something in a very, very fine weight yarn like soccer fingering is going to result in a really small toy, whereas we can work up to using larger yarns, which is going to create your giant large amigurumi toys. So now that we understand the yarn weight system, I want to talk about 3 different fiber types that are commonly used in amigurumi. The first one I'm going to start with is our classic, traditional, most common that you're going to find in stores, acrylic. I have here Lion Brand Basic Stitch. The pro for acrylic yarns is that they're easily accessible, super affordable, and comes in a wide range of colors. So it's going to be easy to find the color palette that you want, which is sometimes difficult for some yarn lines. The downside of acrylic is that it's not the most durable. I have an example of that. So I have 2 hamburgers. This one I made with acrylic yarn, and this one was made with cotton yarn. To be fair, this one was made several years ago and has gotten heavy use, but I was kind of disappointed in how it's held up. If you can see that, it's really fuzzed over and worn out, and I just haven't been impressed with the durability of acrylic yarn for crochet toys, especially if they're getting heavy use by children or pets. But if you're just making an amigurumi for decoration and it's going to sit on a shelf and you're not going to use it a lot, then acrylic yarn might be a great option for you, especially because it's just so easy to find. The next fiber type I'm going to talk about is cotton yarn. And cotton yarn is great for amigurumi because it's so durable. And I really personally love the stitch definition that it gives. I made this one in a cotton blend yarn. This is the hamburger top. And you can see that it gives really great stitch definition. The downside to using cotton yarn is that it lacks natural elasticity, so sometimes it might be difficult to get really tight stitches where a filling is not going to leak out. Also, cotton yarn may not hold its shape over time, so that's something to keep in mind. The next fiber I'm going to talk about is wool, and you can see that wool has a really earthy, like warm feel to it, which makes it great for amigurumi projects that you want to have kind of a cozy feel, or great for winter amigurumi projects. The downside to wool is that some people may have wool allergies, so if you're making your project as a gift and you don't know if the person you're gifting to has a wool allergy, that's something you might want to keep in mind. Now that we've talked about 3 different fiber types and their pros and cons in use for amigurumi, I want to talk about fiber blends, because fiber blends are going to be your best friend for amigurumi. What fiber blends do is they take the pros from one type of fiber and combine it with the pros from another. So let's talk about my personal favorite for amigurumi, and that is cotton acrylic blend, because cotton acrylic blends typically come in wide varieties of color. They are durable because of the cotton, but they're also soft and flexible because of the acrylic blend in them. So my personal favorite yarn for use in amigurumi right now is Knit Picks Comfy Worsted Weight yarn. It is a worsted weight cotton acrylic blend yarn. So it has the strength of cotton, but with the softness and kind of flexibility of acrylic. And it comes in a great variety of colors, which I found tends to be a problem when looking for amigurumi yarns. You can find a great yarn blend, and it's only available in a small range of colors. So I definitely recommend this one. And that's, again, Knit Picks Comfy Worsted. If you're just starting out and you don't want a heavy investment, but you want a quality yarn to work with, I definitely recommend Lion Brand Basic Stitch. This is a worsted weight 100% acrylic yarn, but it is anti-pilling. So you're going to mitigate some of the fuzzing and wear that happens with acrylic yarns that aren't anti-pilling, so I definitely recommend this one. If you're someone who wants those cozy, warm amigurumi characters that are kind of fuzzy and really cute, and you want to use a wool blend, I recommend Lion Brand Wool Ease. This is an 80% acrylic, 20% wool blend yarn. It is very durable and very fuzzy and cute. It is easily accessed in any craft store, and it comes in a great variety of colors. So these are what I would recommend if you're just starting out on amigurumi or crochet toys. Do you agree or disagree? Have you used any of these? What would you recommend? Let me know.